Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dan Durger, and I am the Director of Workforce Innovation for the University of Hawaii Community College System. And part of my work portfolio in that role is I'm the PI on all of the workforce development grants that are administered by the university system. And all of those grants together are what we call Good Jobs Hawaii. So I also want to introduce two of my teammates that are on this call with us today. Nicolette Vanderlee, who is the program manager for one of the grants, the HANA Career Pathways grant that's been actually operating for a couple of years now. So maybe some of you have actually heard of that or have worked with that one. And a newer member of our team, Marshall Norman, who is our Good Jobs Challenge program manager. So Nicolette, would you like to say a few words?
Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for inviting us today. Great to connect with your wider group and look forward to giving some updates on how Good Jobs Hawaii is also specifically providing training opportunities on Hawaii Island. When we presented previously to other smaller groups through your organization, we didn't actually have much yet for your island, but we're excited that we have some new trainings that we have scheduled and are coordinating for your communities. So look forward to sharing about that today. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Nicolette. And Marshall, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I'm so excited to be part of your conversation today and just learn more about what Vibrant Hawaii is doing and how we can play an important role in assisting our organization.
Let me just start by just giving you a little bit of background knowledge about Good Jobs Hawaii, so you have a little bit of context. So some of the things we'll be sharing with you will make a little bit more sense as you try to piece together what is it the grant actually does and how can we help you with opportunities for the members of your community. First of all, it is, as I said earlier, a combination of all of our workforce development grants. And the reason we've kind of bundled them all together and call them Good Jobs Hawaii now is really for the participants' sake. We have so many grants now that we didn't want to have an expectation that the individual participant had to figure out which grant to apply for. It's like, oh, wait a minute, should I be doing this one over here or this one over here or this one over here? It's like, nope, just come to one spot, the goodjobshawaii.org website, apply, just do one application there, and then we figure it out on the back end. Where's the pot of money that we should be taking, out of in order to serve that particular student? But all total, we have about $35 million in workforce development money for free job training, and then also the placement support for high demand jobs, whether that be an internship or directly into full-time employment. And now that we're a couple years into multiple grants, we have spent about 15 of that 35 million, which means we still have quite a bit of money left, still have about 20 million or so to spend down over the next few years. Good Jobs Hawaii itself is a coalition of all the people who are on this call today, plus others. So it's educators, it's business partners, and it's our community partners all coming together to provide good jobs for the people of Hawaii that are jobs in Hawaii that support industries in Hawaii. Just for a little bit of context, there are 32 other grantees across the country that are operating these same types of grants. And there were more than 500 applications through the American Rescue Plan Act for this money. So out of more than 500 applications, we're very honored to have been selected for this. There's a lot of opportunity for the residents of the state of Hawaii. It was a highly competitive grant process. So we feel very fortunate to be able to bring these opportunities to you and the members of your community. So while Nicolette's opening that up for me, talking about what does it mean, what does good jobs, the actual definition of that mean, and the idea being that it not only pays well, but it also offers you good benefits. But we're also looking at things, there's all my other talking points. Thanks, Nicolette. So it not only pays well and offers good benefits, but these last two things that sometimes people aren't always aware of. The idea that there's opportunities for advancement and the notion that you are respected at your job, that you have a sense of belonging and you feel valued where you work. And certainly the idea about advancement and opportunities for advancement plays into the pathways approach that's very key to how we do our our trainings and what our trainings look like. So while every single job that we are offering maybe isn't falling on the ALICE survival budget, with that looking at, around $90,000 for a family of 4, it's at least putting you on the pathway to a good job. And a good example of that would be our nursing pathways, which would start with a CNA, a certified nursing assistant. But for people who access the CNA, they can complete that training, and then we would also support them to get an LPN if they were interested. If they wanted to continue on the pathway, we could also support them from LPN to RN in some ways, and then even at the end of the RN pathway to support them from an RN to a BSN in nursing. And now this slide is just showing you the whole process and kind of the individual pieces and how it works. Of course, we support participants with the free skills training, which includes paying for the courses. If there are certifications involved, we'd be paying for the certification testing costs, and also paying for any materials that would be part of what they're doing for the course. So for books or for other materials, if it's a skilled trades and they need tools, they would pay for the tools, anything they would need to be successful. And then also paying for the internship. So not unpaid internships, but definitely paid internships so they could possibly do a learn and earn model as well. We include that with wraparound supports, and those are supports that are coming from community partners such as yourselves, but also wraparound services that the university can help with. Most notable there would be the team that Nicolette leads, which is our team of navigators that help people through all of the steps and help to ensure that they're successful. And then, of course, the end result that we're always looking for are good quality jobs in in-demand occupations. So we have 4 key sectors that we work with: healthcare, technology, clean energy, which assumes some of the skilled trades as well, and then creative industries. And then you can see on this slide, there are key sector leads that are leading this work within their industries. The Healthcare Association of Hawaii is our sector lead for healthcare. Chamber of Commerce Hawaii is for technology. And then 2 divisions out of DBET, the Hawaii State Energy Office and the Creative Industries Office, are the state leads for clean energy and creative industries, respectively. And what we're asking our industry partners in those sectors to commit to are these 5 pieces. We want our industry partners to commit to being part of our sector partnerships. We want to hear from the industry folks, what is the training that you need? What are the certifications that you need in order to hire people into the job openings that you have? So we don't want to train people for jobs that aren't going to be there when they are done with the training. A huge goal of this is to train people for in-demand jobs. So we ask our partners to engage that way. We ask them to provide those quality jobs and to consider the Good Jobs Hawaii participants first as they're looking to hire. We ask them to offer work-based learning opportunities and on-the-job training. And then we also just want them to help us, get excited about it, to kind of hype this around the state and within their own circles, because not only are we looking for people who are maybe newer to the job market, so high school seniors, those who have graduated recently, or recent college grads, but we're also looking for people who are returning to work. Maybe they've been out of work for a while. They're looking to upskill. They're looking to change careers. It might even be industry partners, their own employees that they want to upskill and keep as their own employees. So there's a lot of different ways that we work with our industry partners. But I want to kind of take a step back on the next slide and let Nicolette talk a little bit about the training eligibility for the participants. So Nicolette, would you like to share a little bit of that information?
Sure, absolutely. Thanks, Dan. So the funding eligibility is actually fairly broad for these grants because we're here to serve our residents. For anyone that applies, we're going to verify that they are a Hawaii resident, and this is all just self-declared. We don't require a lot of paperwork or additional supporting documents. In order to be eligible to meet the employment outcomes of employment within 6 months of completing a training, we're also going to ask that they verify that they're a U.S. citizen, a green card holder, or COFA status. And participants have to be at least 16 years of age. So same thing, they're going to be on that path to employment and have a high school diploma or GED. We are also starting this fall, looking to work with a couple high schools on your island in the healthcare sector with our industry partner, Healthcare Association of Hawaii. So they will be offering training programs for certified nurse aide, leading into that nursing pathway with Waiakea and Honoka'a high schools on your island. So that's just something notable. They will be working with those schools to actually offer those healthcare trainings and certifications leading to employment for current high school seniors for certified nurse aide. And we'll be partnering with a local training provider, Island CPR, to help coordinate that. And Healthcare Association of Hawaii will also be building in that career readiness, supporting the students to be successful in the trainings and then also seek employment with local employers. So we're really excited to be bringing that to your communities starting this year. And also want to just give you a quick tour of our website. So goodjobshawaii.org brings you to our website. From the homepage, there's a great overview video here hosted on YouTube that you can check out. That's a good way to kind of share with anyone in your networks what the program is about. And then we have the website organized for job seekers, which are essentially the participants of the students, as well as employers and community members. So if we explore the job seeker side, we do have an overview page that just gives more information for prospective students. If they want to learn more, I'd just like to highlight that we offer info sessions for these 3 primary sectors. So that's a great way if someone's not sure where to start or what training, what type of job is optimal for them. For example, in healthcare, they can sign up for our upcoming healthcare info sessions. And the navigators that Dan shared about, these are our staff members that are really dedicated to supporting participants from start to finish. So they actually host these info sessions. When someone applies to the program, a navigator will follow up with them to take them through the onboarding process, make sure that they understand what they're signing up for, get any of their prerequisites or paperwork in, especially for healthcare trainings. There's more paperwork required there in terms of health records. So the navigators can really help them go through any of the steps to ultimately enroll in a training. And then once they're in the training, our navigators will work with our sector partnerships to bring the employment opportunities for any of the students in those training cohorts if they're unemployed and seeking employment. So that was under our overview page. We also have a page just about the info sessions. If you want to share a direct link where they can sign up for these, there's that page. We have a page for high school students that we'll be updating once we have more things ready for the fall sessions. But where I really want to direct you is the final link there, apply for training. And so from this page, you can explore all the different trainings that we have available across the sectors. And they are organized by alphabetically by the course name. And then you can also just focus on the host campus to see where the location is. So like to highlight for your community, we now have a certified nurse aide training coordinated through Hawaii Community College with the Island CPR training provider. And they will be scheduling these throughout the year. So the next one does start this week, but once they start that class, they'll replace it with the next date. So from here, you can either click course details and see a lot more information about a particular course. And you can also expand and see the specific dates and information. So there is actually another course that's also going to be starting in October. And you can apply, they can apply directly through the website for any of these trainings. And if there are multiple date options, this is where they can select. Do they want to join the one this week, or are they interested in the one starting in October? And this application is the same for any of the trainings. And it'll highlight if there are prerequisites. So as I mentioned, for healthcare trainings, there will be some vaccination records needed, health records in order to work in healthcare. And through this application is how we verify any of those eligibility requirements, so that they're a resident, that they're a citizen, or have a green card or BOFA status. We also get some more demographics and background in terms of their existing educational background. Are they already employed? What is their marital and household status? So for example, if we see on an application, someone's coming from a large family and they are not currently receiving SNAP, we can then refer them for that wraparound support. If they need a laptop or Wi-Fi device to support them in the training, we can also provide that free of charge. So the application actually sets us up with a lot of information about the students, and also we can then see how best to support them to be successful in the program. So just going back to the list of trainings, just want to highlight certified nurse aide on your island. We also have medical assistant that's coming up this fall as well. And also phlebotomy technician. And those are all offered, as I mentioned, with Island CPR as a training provider.
I was just looking at the technology tab and I noticed a lot of the courses are on Oahu only. And that's really frustrating. And in this day and age when things can be recorded, is that going to expand, like to be able to be offered here? Like if it's, why couldn't it be recorded and offered here?
Actually, pretty much all of the technology trainings are online statewide. So even though it's a host campus of Honolulu Community College, it's actually open for any participants. So here, for example, it says online synchronous statewide. So any resident on any island can join most of the tech courses. There are a few that will be highlighted, like this computer, Microsoft Office for Oahu residents, and that is because it is funded by the city and county of Honolulu. So any ones where you see Oahu residents only, that is a different grant that the city and county of Honolulu has specifically requested these courses. But the majority of courses are actually open to all residents, where it says online synchronous statewide, just to highlight that for technology. And just another thing I'll highlight is I do have a flyer that I created for your island that kind of, pulls out the specific trainings, and we can share that with your listserv so that you can share it widely with your networks. So just to kind of give you a quick tour of that. So for the healthcare trainings, the 3 that I mentioned, but there are also some online statewide courses that your communities could also apply for: patient care rep, registered behavior technician, and medical billing. And then just highlighting in technology, these are all of the online courses that we would highlight for your communities. And then finally, in the clean energy sector, we also have 2 online courses that residents from your island can join as well. Okay, Dan, I'll hand it back to you.
Yeah, and this is just a timeline that we have for this year. Good Jobs just officially launched on January 30th of this year, so it is relatively new as a collaboration of all of our grants together. And in the spring and summer, we did some partnership meetings across the state, and Farah alluded to these earlier, where we went to campuses across the entire state and met with groups of people to ask about good jobs in their communities and what that means, and started pulling together some partnerships via those meetings. Good Jobs Oahu just launched in August. Those are the ones that the question that was asked about, why are some of them just for Oahu residents, that Nicolette answered. So just so you realize, that particular grant named Good Jobs Oahu is using money from the city and county of Honolulu. So it is specific to residents of Oahu. And then it's always ongoing. We're always looking for new classes and new credentials that industry partners might want to offer. So, Nicolette and Marshall and myself, all 3 of us are open to new ideas about new things that we can present to the communities to meet their needs. And then just here at the end, I want to share some more of our data that we have, because now that we launched in January, but we're far enough along that we have a little bit of data to share. And you can see the percentages of enrollees. We've had over 900 people enroll in the trainings, which is a very encouraging number. You could see just based on the percentages, we have most of our trainings in healthcare. So it makes sense that 60% of that 900 number is enrolling in healthcare. But you can also see our newer sectors, IT, clean energy, creative industries, are starting to build, and there's more and more classes available there. All of the trainings are short term. They're only a year or less. So there's even a handful that are only 1-day trainings. And then there's some that are as long as a year. So some of the people haven't even completed their trainings yet. So we don't quite have completion data. And we're looking at job outcomes 6 months after they complete. So it's not nearly far along for us to know what the job outcomes data is yet. But we are encouraged by the enrollment data. And then lastly, just want to share with you some information here about our supporters and how to contact us. So this is just a list of our key supporters, the first 3 being the largest supporters for the tuition-based reimbursements. And then our local supporters who help us do all those things that the federal grants can't do. So we really appreciate them. And then here are just some next steps and some contact information for you. So if you have industry partners, or if you represent an industry partner or you're working with them and they want to get involved, the first thing they would do is go to the website that Nicolette was sharing and sign the pledge. If they have a question about being involved in a sector, the sector partnerships are all handled through the Chamber of Commerce, and that email there would be how they would contact. And I've already forwarded this slide deck to Farah, who I give full permission to share widely, freely and widely, Farah. Next, if you're looking for, or you're working with the UH partners, or you're looking for maybe some trainings that don't exist yet, or you're curious about those, and you want to propose courses, or you have a UH partner to propose a course, they would actually contact Nicolette or Marshall, and those are their emails right there. And then lastly, if you're working with I know you're a community group that's very engaged with the community, and if there are other community groups and you're looking at, well, how can we get involved, or how does this work from a community perspective, that would be the outreach to me directly. So the next one, Nicolette, the next piece there is just my email. And of course, if you have any general questions, I'm happy, to answer any questions you might have. But if it's specific to the community partner engagement piece, that would be directly to me. If it's specifically about the coursework and courses that are offered and working, the participant experience, those would be Nicolette and Marshall questions that you can contact them about. That's it.
Thanks, Dan and Nicolette, for that.